Jeff Snader with Sandler here, talking about why so many salespeople fail to make changes that would help them, and the belief circle or the belief wheel, how that applies to it. I think if we ask, or if you ask yourself, why do so many people fail to change, there's very common answers there that we would all know. I mean, number one, it's hard. Change is hard, and it's uncomfortable. And then you're also encountering the fear of failure, that you could go and try and do something, it doesn't work, and then you realize you're a screw up inside, which isn't true, by the way, but that's how we feel. So we have a lot of fear of change, not to mention the fact that we know it's going to be difficult most of the time. We have habits in there. So quickly, I want to go over the belief circle. Some people call it the belief wheel. And that way you can understand the challenges of change and maybe understand how to approach it differently. So here, let me wheel this in. So, first thing you have to do is understand that you have a belief. So belief is something you hold as true. Okay? Such as prospecting is hard, or cold calling is difficult. Let's go with that one. Cold calling is very difficult, and I hate it. Next, that leads to your attitude and judgments. Attitude is how you think. Judgments are what you think other people think. So let's actually go with a different belief that I even hold more common, or I see more commonly. My price is too high, or I'm expensive, or people won't pay the price that I want them to pay for my services. Let's go with that belief, right? If you believe that your price is too high, then your attitude, right, if you hold that as a truth, your attitude, what you think is, probably going to have to discount. Or when they balk at pricing, maybe I have to lower it. And that's what your judgment too, right? Your judgment is what you think other people think, which means that when you're talking to them, you think they're thinking that this guy, his price is way too high. I'm not going to pay that. Which then leads to actions, so which reinforce your attitude and your belief, right? So my action is, when it gets to the price, time to talk about price, I'm nervous, I discount quickly, maybe I come in discounting already, which then leads to the result of I don't get paid what I think I should be paid or what I want to be paid for my services, which then reinforces again my belief. My belief that I don't deserve the money. I can't get the money that I want to charge for the services I provide. And it just keeps going back around. And so the problem here is that so often we try to address this by changing our belief. And if you sit around and wait for your belief to change, it's very difficult to do. Belief, there's no inertia to a belief. It's just in your head. The best way to change, to approach an issue of change, is to do it through actions. Right? If you start acting differently, you will start getting different results, and you will start believing different things. And that's why change is so hard. You have to commit yourself to actions. But here's something, and I want you, if you can, write this down. People remember 10% of what they hear, 50% of what they see, and 80% of what they do. Here's a funny thing. If you wrote that down, I guarantee you'll remember it, because you heard me say it, you're seeing it on the piece of paper, and you also wrote it on the piece of paper. But it also applies to this circle. If you sit around and wait for your belief to change just because you're telling yourself, I'm worth more, you got a 10% chance of your own inner self even listening to yourself, even acquiring that in some way, and probably not going to tell yourself that much. It's not sincere. It just doesn't have any action to it. There's no motion to it. But if you go out and you start doing actions, which is saying, you know what, I'm going to stick to my price today. I'm going to say a price, and I'm going to hold on that price because that's the only way I'm ever going to change. You're just going to start to see different results. Right? The results are going to come from that, and you're going to grow from that, and you're certainly going to learn from that. So, and this applies to everything. You could want to lose weight. You have to go to the gym. You have to commit to an action about going to the gym. And when you start going to the gym, you will see results. And that result will change what you believe. So this is very compacted, and there's certainly a lot more to talk about. But if there's anything I want you to leave with, is number one, understand this. Remember that your beliefs are backed up by your actions, and your actions are backed up by your beliefs, and everything is tied into it. It's a circle. It's not one way. And two is, again, 80%. You'll remember 80% of what you do. So get out there and do something. That'll make the change you want. Thanks again, Jeff Snyder, Sandler.